Good afternoon, everyone. Are you all able to hear me at the back? Okay, excellent. So, welcome to this quiz program. This has become a sort of an annual feature at GIPC. We've been doing it every year. So, just by a raise of hands, I want to know how many of you all have played the quiz earlier? 2? Okay, so for quite a few of them, this is going to be a new experience. Some people are still eating lunch, so we'll give them another about 2-3 minutes. But till then, I'll just give you all a rundown on how you should be able to log into the quiz. We are not going to be asking questions to everyone over here. It's all going to be on your mobile phones. Or if you have a laptop, you can do it on the laptop also. So all that you need to do on your mobile phone, open your browser or just scan that QR code. If you scan the QR code, it will take you straight to the opening page of the quiz, which is this. Or go to menti.com on your browser and enter this code 242-96801. Okay, and I'll know how many people are registering. You can see the thumbs up going up. So we've got about 30 people registered. In the earlier editions of GIPC, we've had 100 plus also registering. So we'd like to really break some records out here. Yeah, you can see it down below there. So that's the cheat code. Okay. So till people register and till some of them come in from lunch, we'll do this. So just a quick word about us, who we are. So Rohan Consultancy is basically a company based in Bangalore. We are into a whole lot of services. We are into IP services, we are into database services, we are into copyright cleared article deliveries. And we basically work with a couple of our partners. One is IP.com for IP services. We've got a new product of theirs which we had put in the kit bag of all the participants. You would have got that. So if any one of you all need anything, you could always mail us on that brochure. And then we've got Copyright Clearance Center for all the legal people who work with corporate houses to see how they could be very compliant in terms of doing the research work. And of course, the IEEE is the known publisher, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. They basically have non-patent literature, and a lot of patents cite IEEE. IEEE is one of the most highly cited publications by patents. Okay. So, yep, we've got about, how many? About 50 people. So we are looking at more people signing in. I can see more people trooping in. If anyone has a problem signing in, please raise your hands or shout out to me. Okay, a couple of rules for the quiz. The rules are fairly simple. Yeah, the rules are fairly simple. It's the GIPC version of KBC. Okay? The fastest finger wins. Rather, he gets more points. And the questions are not at all difficult. Okay, so we've got a lot of learned people out here, a lot of people with loads of intellectual knowledge and everything over here. So we are nobody in front of them. But then the idea for this quiz, what we conceived was that it should be a light-hearted thing where over 2-3 days that you all sit here and deliberate, there should be some light-hearted moment where you can take your steam off, you can enjoy yourself over here. In all the discussions, you all are very serious, debating, counter-debating and everything. Here there will be no debates. And that last caveat of mine would always be that the quiz master's answers are the final answers. Whether they're right or wrong, they're the final answers. I can't change them at this point of time, okay. So it's as simple as that, very light-hearted, everyone knows the answers. It's just that who presses the button first. There'll be about 12 questions and we'll try and finish that off in 12 minutes itself. Okay, and as she said, there are some prizes to be won. May not be very great prizes, but yes, prizes to be won. Okay, we've got about 60 people who've registered. Others also working on registering. Okay, that was the last year prize. And she was the winner of the last year. So everyone should target her. Or emulate her rather. Okay, we are still having people registering. We have another couple of minutes before we can complete the registration, and then we'll start off on the serious business of the light-hearted quiz. So people are still walking in, they're still registering. Anyone having a problem registering, please let me know by raising your hands. And for those who have just walked in, either scan the QR code or enter this code 242-96801 after getting into your browser and typing out menti.com. And please mention your name also. If it asks you for the name, please put your name down, because we've had names like Who Am I, The Animal, and all of that coming in the previous editions. And luckily none of them won the prize, because I would have asked them to show me the Aadhaar with the name, The Animal. Okay. So the names are important. Okay, we are at 71. Any more coming in? Anyone trying to register? You have a problem or you're registering? That's the good part. The hotel doesn't give the Wi-Fi passwords. You'll probably have to use your internet of the phone itself. Okay, so all on? Or is somebody still struggling to get on? Okay, I can see somebody trying to scan the QR code. If you don't get the QR code, just go to your browser, type menti.com and enter the code 242-96801. Got it? Okay, so I guess let's be fair to all the people over here. So let's start. Those who are still eating lunch, they miss out on some prize if they win. So, yep, so as I said, the rule is simple. Just concentrate on your mobile phones. Don't take any calls. You can't say pause the quiz because I'm getting an important call. You lose out on that question, okay? So just look on your phones. Okay. So here we've got a lot of guys coming in over here. 63 players, it says, are ready. So let's start. The first question. How long do patents usually last for? And you're going to get the choices. 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, or 60 years. Choose the right one. You've got 9 seconds left. Okay, time's up. Okay, so 20 years is the right answer. As I said, our decision is final. There's going to be no debating on this. People can catch me outside if they want to know more about why and how not 20 years, but yeah. So we've got about 54 people who answered. So y'all are getting the hang of the quiz now. Is hit the button fast and you got the hang of the questions, how simple they are. Okay, I'm not going to ask you more tougher questions than this. Okay, maybe one or two only. So who's leading out here right now? Okay. So you've already started on the top three, 973, 967, 966, 965, oh my God. So everyone's going very synchronous in the buttons. So VP was the fastest and he's of course number one, Falguni and Kethi. Okay, so let's move to the next question. People can still join in. They'll just miss out on one question. That's why I've kept the code on top. Go to Menti and join in over there. What is the purpose of a patent? To protect the original work of authorship, to protect symbols, names and designs, to protect the inventions, or to protect the literary works. All the thumbs flying means people are answering very fast. Time's up. Okay. Again, majority of you all have got it right. Let's move ahead and see who all are the leaders now from VP, Falguni and Kethi now. Okay, VP is still leading the pack. And then, okay, Shalin and Ambika have come up. So people are getting the hang of the quiz now. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. And Bharat, by the way, was the fastest in pressing the finger out here. Intellectual property rights include, what all do they include? Patents, copyrights, trademarks, or all of the above? Man, that was very fast. Everyone voted really fast. And it's all of the above. So we've just got a couple of people who given on the contrary, but we don't know the names who have done it, so it's all fun. Okay, VP is back again on top. Okay. VP Ambika, Karan, Sugandh, and Karan is the fastest on this question. Okay, let's move to the next one. What is the difference between a trade secret and a patent? A trade secret and a patent. Okay, I'll let that to be for you all to read out over there. Okay, all have voted. Is it tough or is it simple? Or it's too simple, so that the next time we'll make it tougher. So we got about 60. That's the highest scoring this time. Okay. Okay, let's see which one went really fast. I don't see the positions changing much. Oh no, they've changed. Okay. But VP maintains on top. Okay. Whoever's sitting next to VP could probably try and distract him a little bit if they want to win the prize. Okay, the next question is, the term WIPO stands for World Investment Policy Organization, World Intellectual Property Organization, Wildlife Investigation. By the time I could complete, you all have answered it. Okay, so everyone's got it right out here. No, there were two who got it wrong. Never mind. Okay, quick look at the leaderboard again. Okay, VP leads again. Bharat has come up. Vihan Dang, who was the fastest in this question, has come up. Karan slipped down to 4th. Okay, so we'll move to the next one. Are you all enjoying it or no? Yes. Okay. I was wondering if people went to sleep after eating a good lunch out here. Okay, the 6th question comes in as, which among the following is closely associated with IPR, intellectual property rights? GATS, TRIMS, TRIPS, or MFN? 3 seconds. Okay, time's up. Wow, everyone's got it right. So I don't need to give any explanations because I myself don't know the answers of some of them. Okay. Okay, now who's leading the pack? Again, VP is ahead, followed by Bharat and Vihan. Okay. And there's not much of a difference between the three of y'all. Just about 20 points between the top three. And the good part is all of them are in the 5,500 plus. So anyone could win out here. Okay, the 7th question comes in. The use of information and ideas protected by IPR are of cultural value, social value, commercial value, or moral value. Okay, all have voted. Commercial value is the right answer. And I saw some fingers go really fast, so let's see whether the positions have changed. No, oh yeah, okay, Bharat has gone ahead. And VP is gone number 2. Is Bharat sitting next to VP? Okay. And Karan again was the one with the fastest answer. Okay, let's move on to the 8th question towards the second half of this whole thing. What is the term of copyright for an author of a book? 8 seconds. Okay, all have voted and I'm sure all have got the right answers. Okay, majority have got the right answer. The life of the author plus 60 years. Okay, let's see now who are the ones who are up front. Okay, Bharat is still leading and Vihan has come into the 2nd spot and VP slipped to 3rd. VP, change your place please. I'm sure the other two are sitting next to you. Okay, let's move to the 9th question. And somebody who helped me with the question said that as you go closer, it's easier. I don't know. What is the name of the international copyright law? the Berne Convention, the International Copyright Agreement. There's no international copyright law. They vary from country to country, or Copyright Act of 1976. Okay, time's up. Oops. Actually, there's no copyright law. Okay, so we'll see a lot of positions change out here. Okay, so this was a tricky one. This was the trickiest, I think. Okay, let's see now what the board stands as. Okay. Okay, we've got Karan moving ahead. Shaleen has come in. She was the fastest. And Priyanka Gupta, she's come in third over here. Okay, excellent. I think some of them saw some of my questions of the last quiz also. But still, the fastest finger counts. Okay, to the 10th question. World Intellectual Property Day is celebrated every year on which date? 26th of April, 23rd of April, 26th of March, or the 28th of April? All have voted. Everyone went very fast. And the answers are here. The 26th of April is the right date. Okay. Now let's see who's up here. Let them jump and then we'll see which is the one ahead. Okay. Shaleen has moved up, Karan number 2 and Priyanka Gupta number 3. Anurag is number 4, a fair distance behind, but you can buck up over here. Even people with about 8,700 can still win if they go very fast for the next 2 questions. The 11th, the second last question. Which country has filed the maximum number of patent applications in 2023? India, Japan, US or China? By the time I complete saying it, everyone has voted actually. Okay, so China is the one. Okay, so here also a bit of a tricky one, I guess, out of the 2 questions. Now let's see. I'm sure this should change a little bit unless the top 3 got the right answers. I can see. Okay, it's the same. Wonderful. So between Shaleen, Karan and Priyanka, all of y'all better buck up because Anurag is falling pretty fast at the back. A couple of 20 points, around 30 points away. The last question which comes up is, I hope, a simple one. When in doubt, should I obtain copyright permission? Actually, this was a question which we decided to put saying that the bottom rankers could probably jump right on top and win the prize. Okay, so yes is the correct answer. And 49 of them have answered that. So that's the end of the quiz. And probably now let's see what the leaderboard says out here. Great, so we have Shaleen as the winner. Give a clap for her, please. Shaleen, could you? Okay. And then we have Karan as the second placed person. Karan. Okay, doesn't matter. And third place is Priyanka Gupta. There she is. So now for the prizes, I am going to invite Dr. Dhanpatram Agarwal to give away the prizes. So let me call Shaleen up first. Until she comes up. Oh yeah. I hope all of you all had fun in this quiz. Or were the questions simple? Or too simple? Come. Well done. So that's a small gift from Rohan Consultancy. It's a small one. The packing is big, that's all I can promise you, and that's the right answer that I'm giving.
RPS, congratulations. Thank you.
Second placed, Karan, please. And Priyanka Gupta, the third placed winner. A loud hand, everyone, please. I think everyone is still feeling sleepy after a good lunch. Just to add, she's one of my ex-colleagues also. Congrats, Priyanka. Okay, and
सर एक बार तीनों को बुलाइए और आपके सामने फोटो।
okay, आप भी रहिएगा सर.
आप भी रहेंगे, आप भी रहिए।
Okay, can I have both the winners back again over here? The first two. Thank you everyone, and as a small token of appreciation to Dr. Agarwal, I'd like to give him a memento also for doing a great conference. So, ma'am, please. They've been doing great conferences over the years, some of them at exotic locations. Thank you very much. I hope all of you all enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mehrotra. Thank you so much for that wonderful session, for the quiz session. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll move ahead with our next plenary session. And I'd request the chairs and the table to be placed here on the dais for the next session. So this is the plenary session 3, and the topic for this session is unifying IP, collaboration and learnings. So let us embark on a collaborative journey through the intricate tapestry of intellectual property. So join us in exploring synergies, fostering collaboration and unraveling key learnings to enhance the collective understanding of IP dynamics. I'd request the team members to kindly place chairs and table on the dais so that we can move ahead with the plenary session, and I can invite our guests on the dais. So this is the plenary session 3. Let me introduce our guests even as the tables and the chairs are being placed on the dais. Let me introduce the moderator for this session. We have Dr. K.S. Kardam, Senior Joint Collector of Patents and Designs, retired, Indian Patent Office. He will help us moderate this session, leveraging his 37 years of expertise in intellectual property rights. So, warm welcome to Dr. K.S. Kardam. The speakers for this session are Mr. John Kabeka, U.S. Intellectual Property Counselor for South Asia, American Embassy, New Delhi. He serves as the U.S. Intellectual Property Counselor for South Asia, playing a pivotal role in matters related to the protection and enforcement of IP rights. Very warm welcome, Mr. John Kabera. Also joining us in this session is Mr. Hiroki Watanabe, Director IPR, JETRO, Japan, and he brings a wealth of experience from the Japan Patent Office. His expertise in information processing technologies, including artificial intelligence and semiconductors, is invaluable. Very warm welcome, Mr. Hiroki. And I also like to welcome Mr. Louis Boyson, the Counselor for Intellectual Property Rights at the Royal Danish Embassy, and he contributes to technical cooperation and knowledge exchange between India and Denmark. I beg your pardon, she. Very warm welcome, ma'am. Also joining us in this session is Mr. Sebastian Conan, Regional Counselor, IP India and South Asia, Embassy of France in India. He specializes in information science and intellectual property. Very warm welcome, Mr. Sebastian. And we are joined in also by Ms. Ankita Tyagi, Head IP and Public Projects, European Business and Technology Center, India, with over 13 plus years of expertise in IP, startups, and innovation. She spearheads innovation and bilateral cooperation in the Indian-Europe Business Corridor. So, extending our warm welcome to all the speakers and the moderator for this session. I'd request the moderator, Dr. K.S. Kardam, to please begin the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So, good afternoon. And today's session, as you all know, is on unifying IP and collaboration and learning. So, as you all know, that collaboration is very, very important and plays a key role in learning and work sharing as far as the IP offices are concerned. The work sharing reduces the work of IP offices and streamlining the examination procedures and grant. And also sharing the information, exchange of best practices is also a collaborative activity, and I think that also plays very, very important role. In India, in IP office, we have many collaborative activities with JPO, USPTO, France office, and Denmark office also, and European Patent Office also in the past. And with the best practices, exchange of information, we have trained our examiners. They have learned how best they can learn from the practice of other offices, so that it can improve the quality of patents and quality of examination procedures for patents, trademark, and other IP related matters. And in fact, the importance of collaboration has already been recognized by World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, and they have also started many projects on collaboration. In fact, IP Office India recently, I think past 5 years, they also collaborated with WIPO and signed agreement with them. And with regard to earlier, as you know, the section 8 of the Patent Act, the IP office used to raise the objection regarding the status of various applications in other foreign jurisdictions. So to avoid inconvenience to the attorneys or IP applicants, IP office had access to WIPO database like case, central access to search and examination report. Now hardly a patent examiner raising this kind of objection to the applicant. Similarly, there was issue on certified copy. There is a WIPO central system of DAS, so one can have access to that, and there is no need in that case the submission of certified copy in the patent office. With regard to other collaborative activities of India, Indian IP office especially, the JPO, we had the MOU in 2007. Since then, the collaborative activity between India and IP office are continued with regard to training of patent examiner, exchange of views and best practices. And also, we have recently with France this activities, and Denmark in I think 2021 or 22 we had an agreement with them, and people are exchanging practices and they are learning from each other. and also with USPTO. So, but beside the IP office collaboration, there are other areas where IP collaboration is important, maybe IP attorney collaboration, and maybe in WIPO there is a standing committee on patents, where the sharing of work, information of confidentiality between the communication between the client and attorney privileges, and transfer of technology, one area where collaborative activities are very, very important. So today we have excellent panel for discussion today. Dr. Louis Boysen from Denmark, and Mr. Hiroki Batane from JETRO. And JETRO is doing a lot of collaborative activities in India and other countries also. John from US Embassy, and will speak on other kind of collaborative activity being undertaken by US. And Ankita Tyagi, she is working in European Business and Technology Center in Delhi, and she is playing very, very important role because they have opened certain help desk to help the universities, MSMEs and other, how the US, how European companies, they are bringing technology, and she is helping them with the help desk. And Mr. Sustaining Corner from France Embassy. So we have a presentation from two speakers, one from Japan and Mr. Sustain. So before we discuss other things, I request Mr. Batane to make a presentation on the IP collaboration. Thank you.
Hi. Hello, I'm Hiroki Watanabe from JETRO. JETRO is a Japan External Trade Organization. It is a semi-government organization. Our mission is promote the relationship between Japan and other countries, especially in trade or investment. Today, I'd like to introduce the international collaboration between India and JETRO or Japan, especially in IPR field. So next slide. So I think there are many types of collaboration in IPR. I think the top level of collaboration is government-to-government collaboration, like agreement or treaty. It is, such, for example, PCT or PPH, etc. Or Dr. Kardam mentioned personal exchange or some governmental meetings. It is, I think, top level of collaboration in IPR. And the next, government to business, private sector's collaboration also exists. Dialogue. I think it is mainly dialogue between government and government or public sector and private sector, etc. And next, B2B, it's like a joint venture or technology transfer. I think it is one of the type of collaboration in IPR because when we start joint venture, we needed to discuss about the intellectual property rights. Finally, one of the collaboration type is government to consumer or business, government to business or consumer. It is like awareness conference or awareness event, etc. So next slide, please. So collaboration is up. Collaboration, so I think there are many collaboration types. So I would like to focus on the pink colored collaboration today. So dialogue between public sector and private sector and awareness event between government, consumer, or business sector. Next slide. So it is a photograph dialogue between India Patent Office and Japanese companies. So it is a rare chance to to have a meeting directly with the Indian Patent Office. So JETRO is a semi-government organization. So JETRO arranged such meetings to hold a meeting. And Japanese companies send a message to CZ in Indian Patent Office directly. It is a very rare chance. And based on this such dialogue, we can start the new initiatives, maybe new initiatives. So next slide, please. So it is also another dialogue between public sector and private sector. It is a photograph of dialogue between India Police Office and Japanese companies. So of course you know we need to use right. It is not not enough to hold the right. We need to use right. So we need to request police or custom to seize the counterfeiting goods. So it is the such meeting to request police or custom. Yeah. So next slide, please. And this is another type of collaboration between India and Japan. It is awareness event. This is a design seminar. So JETRO invite some designer from India company, Desmania, and Japanese company, Toto. Toto is a Toyota company. And we also invite the academic sector, the design village and India high school students. So the speaker from Indian company and the Japanese company, they are designer. They explain how to design the product and how important to protect such design and product. So next slide, please. So this is another awareness event between India and Japan. So it is an anti-counterfeiting movie contest. So we invite some movie for the anti-counterfeiting awareness movie. So we total 25. I remember 25 movies submit to the JETRO. So we select some video to winner. So today I'd like to introduce the prize movie in this. So this movie is made by student NID. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. It's a very nice message of counterfeit products. And just I want to ask you one question. Is there any collaboration on counterfeiting? How JETRO is playing some role in protecting the...
Yes. So anti-counterfeiting initiative is very important because there are many Japanese companies to face such problem. So JETRO is a media interface between Indian government and the Japanese government. So we support Japanese government, Japanese companies to have the meeting with authorities. And one more, JETRO is also private sector organization. So we can arrange such awareness event with student or consumer. Yes, this is
Okay, thank you. Now I will request Mr. Sartini to make presentation to the public and how your organization, France IP Office, is involved in IP collaboration, helping industry, and what are the various programs of France IP Office which help the inventors and universities, something like that you have. Maybe first let's have a presentation.
Yeah, I think you will have the answer of your question in my presentation.
Okay.
I hope. So thank you, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me for this conference, a very interesting conference. As you present, Dr. Kardam, the theme of the panel is uniting IP, collaboration and learning. First of all, I'm also the IP counselor of the French Embassy in India, but I'm also the representative of the French Intellectual Property Office. And for many years, the INPI develops its collaboration on two levels on IP, because we think it's very important to promote what is IP and how IP can help businesses and project managers, for example. So we have collaboration at the national level, and I will present you briefly what we do, and also at the international level. For example, at the national level, we sign some agreements with regions of France. Each region have an agreement with our office, with regional innovation agencies, with public partners to promote IP among project developers and businesses. And at the international level, we have signed 64 agreements, like MOUs, work plan, PPH, cooperation agreements with 40 different countries around the world. We have also an objective and performance contract for 2021 to 2024, and the axis number 2 of this contract is increase the promotion of IP and international influence. So it's completely in this topic. Next slide, please. Next, yeah. Now, briefly about the different services we can propose to customers. The objective of ENPI is to promote economic development through the innovation promotion activities, like registration and issues of industrial properties title. The Institute welcomes and informs innovators and assists them throughout the process. It provides them with a comprehensive legal and technical documentation, thanks to freely accessible database on patents, trademarks, designs, businesses, and geographical indications. On a day-to-day basis, the ENPI supports businesses in the creation, development, and optimization of their innovation strategy through various training programs and dedicated products and services. And I will share some information about that with you later. INPI is also plays a major role in the development of industrial property law and represent France in the relevant community and international bodies such as the WIPO, the European Patent Office, and the European Union Intellectual Property Office. Next slide, please. On the domestic level, the office employs more or less 700 people, which includes a team of 70 customer relation managers in France. The office support is provided by the network of experts based in each region of France. We have 14 offices across France, and as I said, we have 12 regional agreements with all the regions of France. In 2022, we supported more or less 7,000 companies in France. The top 3 topics are about trademarks, patent, and contracts. And the top 3 recommendation we done is in-P coaching. I will give you information later. File and IP rights, and meet a partner like a lawyer specialized in IP. And about training, in 2022 we had more or less 1,800 trainee students and more than 12,000 registration for MOOCs in IP. Next slide, please. At the international level, we have experts of the French IP office in the embassies of France, in the economic departments of French embassies, in 10 strategic areas to fight against counterfeiting, inform and provide support to French companies, facilitate access market through state-level action or lobbying, for example, identify and analyze the best practices in innovation and IP ecosystem abroad, and attract foreign investors in France. In 2023, the office signed 3 new PPH, Patent Prosecution Highway, agreements with China, Morocco, and Saudi Arabia. We signed 4 new MOUs with Canada, Mexico, Philippines, and Vietnam. And we signed 4 new work plans with foreign IP offices, as India. We signed our work plan the 1st of last December. Next slide, please. And about counterfeiting, we have two initiatives in France. The first one is the French Anti-Counterfeiting Committee, created in 1995 and placed under the aegis of the Ministry of Economy and Finance. The CNAC is an informal platform for bringing together public and private partners involved in the fight against counterfeiting. As it's important to have an initiative and involvement at the high level, and to have also politicians to be aware with counterfeit and illicit trade issues. That's why the committee is chaired by a member of parliament in France. The objective behind the creation of the committee is to combine point of view and experiences of public and private entities. Now, as public entities, for example, you have representatives of French ministries, French customs, the IP office, etc. And as private entities, you have representatives of association of right holders, of professional federation, like Comité Champagne, for example, which represents the Champagne geographical indication. And the second initiative, on September 2022, so the CNAC and the INPI launched the France Anti-Counterfeiting Program to gain a better understanding of the phenomenon of counterfeiting in France. As previously, the France Anti-Counterfeiting brings together players from the economic, academic, and legal world. We have representatives of the French custom to share data to establish national indicators. We have the Federation of Mechanical Engineering Industries to carry out a study on counterfeiting in their sector. We have also the Confederation of SMEs to understand the lack of involvement of French SMEs in the fight against counterfeiting. We also have the Center of CP. Sorry, I have it in French, but I have not the translation in English. To the CPs to contribute as a university to contribute to the debate through academic work. And we have also the UNIFAB. It is an association of French manufacturers also to gain a better understanding of French customers' attitude to counterfeiting and to improve awareness campaigns. Next slide, please. Alors, next one. Yeah, thank you. Just briefly to present what we propose to companies as a support for IP. Well, the different plan. I don't give you so many details about them, but we can talk about two of them. The startup plan, for example, dedicated to the startup to integrate IP into the company DNA and make it a major asset of fundraising. And the second one is the Alliance Pays plan to understand the IP issues specific to collaborative R&D project and public-private technology transfers. And then the last slide, please. Next one, yeah, this one. And I will finish with that. Just to show you that we propose all our data available free on our website portal. So you can you could find some information about French patents, French trademarks, design, geographical indication, French companies, and with up-to-date information about the during the life of the title. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Sustain. I think wonderful work being done by IIPI, your office, and the activities which you are supporting to promote IP are very, very important, and I think it will go a long way to help them. I would like to know what kind of support to IP, startup IP companies office is providing.
What kind of support? IP support?
Startup companies, startups.
In fact, it's the basis. Explain what is intellectual property. So how how a startup can protect its innovation using a patent, using a trademark, using copyright.
No, I mean to say there is some support from office government with regard to their fee or their examination, something like that.
In fact, we have two kinds of support. We propose a sort of checklist of what to do, what you have to do. And we also propose a specific fees for startups. So they pay less than a normal company, for example, to apply a patent, a trademark, or design.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now I would like to request Dr. Louis Boyce to have initial words about IP collaboration and learning, and then share our experience not only in Denmark but also in India, because you have been here for quite a long time. So I know IP Office of India has MOU with them, and there has been an exchange of officials visiting your office, and they have also visited our office, and I think we have a future program of besides exchange of patent examiner, but also maybe in terms of important GI and other things, I think, or maybe the best practices of examination, because your office is also, I think, one of the international intellectual searching authority, also Indian IP office. So do you have what kind of activities now you have planned? Because now I'm retired, so I'm not updated with current, uh, the current activities which are going on. Maybe you can share with.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Karam. So, being from Denmark, as most of you may know, Denmark is it's a really small country. We're less than 6 million people altogether. So, but being a very small country, we still actually punch far above our weight when it comes to many, many things, including intellectual property. And I think maybe because we are so small, that's why we do so. And part of what we do is that we collaborate, we engage in the international community, be it in the European community, where we have a very active engagement in all of the different deliberations that are going on, with the unitary patent deliberations that were going on. Denmark played a very active part, which actually at the end of the day meant that Denmark got a very good deal in terms of the fee division schedule that they made for the UPC. Another thing is also, because we are so small, we are very flexible. So we can make a lot of changes quite easily, and we can try them out, and if it works, we can share those experiences with other countries. Likewise, if it doesn't work out, it's not that big of a problem to change again and share that experience, perhaps. So, and in the Danish Patent and Trademark Office has worked internationally, as I just said, for many, many years. And one of the also big collaborations we have is we've worked for many, many years with the Norwegian Patent Office, because together with the Norwegian Patent Office, we are an international search authority, as you were just alluding to. But the Danish office itself is too small. But if we join forces with the Norwegian office, which is also too small in itself, we can become an international search authority. So collaboration is really in our blood, and that's something we work on and have worked on for many, many years. And we are active in a number of countries. We've been active in a lot of EU adjacent countries through various funds through the EU, but also in countries such as India, of course, where we are now. I'm here because we do have a government-to-government collaboration between Denmark and India. We've had an MOU since 2020, and this is also part of a larger collaboration in India. You may hear Denmark mentioned one way or the other a little more often than our size actually should reason, but that is part of, or partly because we also have a green strategic partnership between Denmark and India, where we are trying to bring some of all of those cutting-edge climate technologies, green technologies that Denmark is also known for. We're trying to bring them to play in one of the largest countries in the world, and really trying to make a difference there. And of course, in order to make a difference, that also means if we are to export cutting-edge technology, we also need to make sure that the IP is taken care of somehow. And that's why we are engaging in countries such as India. We have other collaboration also with Brazil, for example, which is another big market for the Danish companies. And at the end of the day, what we're really wanting to go for is to have increased harmonization, because the more harmonized we are, the easier it is for everybody, for the companies, for the lawyers, and for the IP officers to actually to work and to work efficiently. And yeah, that's very much why we're here and what we're doing.
Okay, thank you. Maybe at the end we can have some questions. No, now I would like to request John Quebeca. He is from US Embassy Council, Intellectual Property Council. Maybe he would like to share his experience in IP collaboration and other kind of activities being undertaken, although IP office had some agreement with the USPTO. But currently I don't think is in for, so maybe you have to work a little bit more to make it really happen and learn from each other's experience, especially the international searches which are being conducted, and maybe sometimes the work sharing is very, very important, and that brings the quality in the grants and registration of intellectual property rights. So maybe now I request you to share your experience.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Doctor. So first, I'll just start out. We also have an MOU in force from 2020, like my colleagues up here on the dais, and we also have a biennial plan that helps guide that MOU. And we've been very successful in a number of programs throughout the past 2 years, since we renewed the MOU in 2020, to really highlight some areas of key opportunity for collaboration. And we did so on patent opposition proceedings, on trademark opposition proceedings, on other ways where our offices shared best practices and shared our experiences. And I think a lot of that comes from going back to kind of the premise of the panel and collaboration. Is not just collaboration, but also being open and transparent. And we found that by doing that, not only being open and transparent within our own system, but when we work with our counterparts in offices around the world, that helps to bring better systems. We've seen that in our own history through the development of the cooperative patent classification, where we combined the best practices of the US system, best practices of the European system, the Japanese definitions, and created a patent classification system that now the world is using. And we've done that by working together. And I think that's just a great example of the benefits that collaboration can bring. We've also more recently seen the ability to share each other's application files for co-pending applications, sharing citation documents, and all these other things that are really focused not so much on changing our laws. Our laws are generally the same. There are things that make us different in the way we examine and the way we interpret these laws. But ultimately, we focus on how to improve our procedures. And you mentioned patent prosecution highway as one example where that helps to streamline, take advantage of efficiencies rather than having different examiners around the world work on the exact same claims. Maybe there's a way to leverage some of that work. So PPH is one of them. We also like to test new ways. So we've had PPH in force now for, I think it's almost 20 years, if I'm not mistaken, since the first PPH. Do you remember? I don't remember. The first one was with JPO. But we also have something now called the Parallel Patent Grant and also the Accelerated Patent Grant. And both of those pilots are ones that we are testing with trading partners around the world to see what are ways that we can even leverage more of the decision-making that's taking place between our respective offices. And so, again, I think that all comes to being open, transparent with each other, but also throughout our lawmaking and rulemaking processes to do the best that we can to make them as effective as they are at the time of implementation. So I thought I'd also share the reason for this, as we talk about working together and collaborating, is because applicants are filing in all of our offices. We've seen this here just in last year. I got the numbers just yesterday, so I'm still going through them. Just last year at the USPTO, we saw 7,500 applicants where there was an Indian first named inventor from India, and 85 applicants which were claiming an Indian priority for the US filing, but that first named applicant was not an Indian inventor from India. So we're seeing a lot of this that tells you everything about collaboration. It's happening at the technical level. Our companies are collaborating, they're working together. We need to be working together too to make our systems as effective and as efficient as they can be for our stakeholders. That's ultimately why our offices exist in the first place. And then I think going to just collaboration generally, it's big part of my role here throughout South Asia is to work with my counterparts within the US government and all the other agencies within the US government that have equities on intellectual property, and also to work with my colleagues in the other foreign missions that also have similar equities and are like-minded in many ways on some of these intellectual property provisions and ways to help improve IP systems globally. But I think more importantly, working directly with the governments here in the host country in India and throughout South Asia on helping to share our experiences in ways that we can help promote more effective, more stronger IP systems globally. When I think about ways to do that, it also makes me think about some of the things that not just our offices are doing and collaborating together, but what our governments are doing. And when I look at the US and India, not only in our bilateral initiatives that we have underway now, like with critical and emerging technologies, but also multilateral efforts through the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework and the Quad partnership that we have with Japan, India, and Australia. All of these, while intellectual property is not a specifically highlighted component of these initiatives, having strong and effective IP systems are critical to the success of these initiatives. And it's one area where we're working closely with the fellow governments throughout the region to, again, share best practices, and not only share what we did well, but share where we failed, so that we can share those experiences, so hopefully people don't repeat our mistakes, and build a better system in a more effective and efficient way. And perhaps I'll stop there and open for Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you, John. You spoke about this parallel patent examination. How does it differ from the PPX?
So the parallel patent grant, it gives more weight to the decisions of the examiner in patentability. There's always you always have the option as the examiner in the other office to still search the case and still do your own search and examination if you feel the need to, but ultimately it's a higher bar. So there are different nuances between the different provisions. I think maybe too little time for me to go into them today.
If the two patent exams come to a different conclusion, then
That's something we take into account as well.
so thank you very much for enlightening us about various activities undertaken by your office. Now we have Ankita Tyagi, who is working for EBTC, and her work is entirely on collaborative activities in India. I think she is working on behalf of European Union. So could you throw some lights on your activities, how your help desk is helping the universities, MSME sectors, especially in this particular IP? Thank you.
Hello everyone, and thank you Dr. Gardhan for having me here. And I'm sure because my fellow panelists have already highlighted the various initiatives they are leading in right now from my regional perspectives, right? But as an EBTC, European Business Technology Center, we are facilitating European and Indian companies in the Europe-India business corridor. And earlier we had represented European Patent Office as well in India, to engage with the Indian Patent Office and with various ministries as well. And then right now we are leading India IP SME Help Desk initiative started by European Union to facilitate European companies to access Indian market. But by engaging with various stakeholders, right, because this entire innovation ecosystem, or we say IP ecosystem, whenever we talk about the collaboration activities or anything else, I mean, without engaging other stakeholders, it's useless, right? I mean, that's how I felt while engaging with MSMEs, you say whether in India, whether in Europe, or whether in other spaces, with startups or with even IP experts. So I have few pointers in here. So what we can do, what we can take for the benefit of bringing in more collaborations in this space and bringing this knowledge innovation ecosystem. First is, we should engage all of the IP experts or the experts from the office various offices, interaction with SMEs or the startups or with the companies, because they are the ones who needs all these engagement. Because if only IP expert is dealing with IP attorneys or with the examiner, they are only talking to each other. But what about the person who is doing this all these articles, right? So there should be at least 1 or 2 interactions should be scheduled by the companies or maybe by the organizations who are leading all these initiatives or the collaboration activities, right? So a common platform wherein examiners sharing whatever the failures happened, whatever the successful case studies of patent granted happened, right? So what they should be doing or what they should not be doing. So that's the first pointer. Second thing is around the data. I mean, data is something we say it's oil, it's new oil, right? But all of the patent offices everyone is having their own data? I don't think so. Because whenever all of the big companies or the smaller companies or the MSMEs, they are curating their future decisions, right? So they always search for the granted patents or filing patents, right? But what they're getting, if they're getting only half big data, what's the use of that? To create the better decisions, I think harmonization with all patent offices regarding their data should be there. And then engagement with the academia. Yes, we always say there are very successful initiatives are there. Fraunhofer we say, right? They are the leaders in there, right? Now they have various spin-offs coming in, very successful ones, leading technologies. But what about India? Yes, we have few IITs to name, IISc to name, but what about other universities? So all these universities, they are creating patents, they are having very good patents, commercialization is happening, but they are not able to take out their technologies, they are not able to do any collaboration further. To make this happen, we should be having some initiatives. I mean, at the common platform again, IPO is the one who can take all these initiatives, even in the MOUs engagement, various patent offices are leading in, like INFI is doing. And I heard they have IP audit or IP toolkit earlier they had created, very good toolkit, wherein even European Patent Office is giving some money for the companies, right? Even INPI is helping, facilitating the companies, and then few portion companies are investing in. But they're able to see, okay, this is my future, what are the white spaces or whatever the areas I should be in. So I think we should be having not just separate bilateral MOUs, common MOU started by the IPO, engaging all the patent offices and other stakeholders, what we should do to enhance more collaboration. I think then we will be able to create more patents, good patents, quality patents. Because now in Making India, we say companies, whenever I interact with the European companies, first point, I mean, they have some misunderstanding as well, but first point in their mind is that, okay, whether I should be able to safeguard my IP, what's in there in India, I heard this and that. To be precise, we say no, e-filing is also happening in patent office. A lot of modernization happened. But second point, okay, if you're coming to India, you should be at least having a local support partner with you in here, right? You should file your IP also in here for the manufacturing purpose. Because whenever we talk about the counterfeiting, what is the base of it? They talk about the money part because Indian community is very cost sensitive. To create the product for the Indian community, you need to, if you are cost sensitive, then you have to create the products as well in that range. For make it happen, you have to have your manufacturing as well because then you can lower your cost, right? So if various things are engaged in various places, at that level we should be having at that far-sightedness action plan, how we are going to do that. So my pointer here is that we should engage all of the relevant partners in this ecosystem. And yes, all of the patent offices can start with exchanging their knowledges. Of course, examiners are doing that. But are they really sharing their case studies as well with each other? So please make sure this happens. Because then only if citations will be used by Indian Patent Office or Indian Patent Office citations will be used by different patent office, they should be on the common page. If you're talking about the different domains like AI, automotive, green technology, whatever different upcoming domains are coming in, guidelines are really different. If European Patent Office is holding the stakeholders engagement, with the big companies, their decision is completely different from India side. So I think we should be on the common page for this aspect as well. And with MSMEs and the startups, we are trying to bring in all of the European partners as well as the Indian partners to a common page. For example, we have started this Living Lab initiative, benchmarking Amsterdam Innovation Arena, which is the leading self-sustainable innovation hub in IIIT Hyderabad. Ministry of Electronics and IT and Smart City Mission is our partner, including State of Telangana. Therein, we had identified different demand-driven areas, 5 areas in the state of Telangana, then working on identifying the challenges, how to do that. Then the European companies, Indian companies are coming on a common page, they are creating the solution, doing the POCs, and then going for the IP, and then engaging the Indian Patent Office or whomsoever office is necessary there. So that's my request also in there. Please, please try to include at least 1 or 2 steps from there. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you very much for sharing your concerns and your experience. As far as IP office is concerned, I think you see we have a lot of MOU with other IP offices, and our examiners are exchanging their views, and our examination report and our Indian data is being sent to WIPO, and it is part of WIPO patent scope. So all national filing or Indian filing, after its publication, it goes to WIPO. So you can find all the corresponding application details over there. So IP collaboration is very, very important, as mentioned by every expert, that brings, saves time and brings quality, and so many benefit, and awareness program is one. Indian IP office is also expanding. Now, earlier the patent examiner used to do all work like awareness, examination, with foreign office, communication, but now the office is expanding, and now we are going to have different departments, so the hiring is going on. So NEPAM is created for creating awareness. It's another to collaborate with the industry and universities. You talk about the IIT. I tell you now, there are many private universities. Sanskrit University, I tell you now, the last year report says is leading the top in the list of best universities. They have filed patent applications. Chandigarh group of universities, they are now leading in IP. Earlier we used to talk about the IITs. So it's not only IITs. Now the universities, Indian universities are coming up. Now it is a result of good awareness by IP offices and other agencies like CPAM and NEPAM. Both are doing this awareness work. So all work we share, and with the other offices also. But people are not aware. I tell you one of the example. In the Indian patent rules provide for expedited examination for the applicants from the country with whom Indian IP office has international cooperation agreement. How many of you know about this? Hardly, maybe a few attorneys might be knowing. So we have to create awareness, I said, about these various important features. And like for instance in Japan, with Japan we have PPH specifically with JPO. So all the JPO applicants, they can, of course it was limited to only 100 applications, but our Indian inventor applicant, even not even 100 taking the advantage of filing IP examination under PPH with Japan. So because of lack of creating awareness how to take these advantages. But this collaboration is always important. I think it's going to bring a lot of changes and transparency, he said. So with shortage of time now, I must thank all the co-panelists for their excellent presentation, sharing their information. And also I would like to thank Dr. Agarwal for providing us the opportunity to share our experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So, bringing this session to a close, let the echoes of today's insights resonate and guide you to new heights in navigating intellectual property challenges. Thank you so much to all the panelists. And thank you so much for your participation and making sure that this is a very, very stimulating session for all of us. And of course, a special thanks to our moderator for moderating this session so wonderfully. Your guidance, sir, was actually very instrumental in sharing the perspectives. Thank you so much. I'd request now Dr. D.P. Agarwal to felicitate our moderator first for this session, Dr. K.S. Kardam. Please give him a big round of applause. And now to our speakers, Mr. John Quebeca from the American Embassy in New Delhi. Thank you so much, sir, for having joined us. Mr. Hiroki Watanabe from the Japan Patent Office. Thank you so much, Mr. Hiroki, for your participation. Our special thanks to Ms. Louis Boyson from the Royal Danish Embassy in New Delhi. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was indeed a pleasure having you in the program. Mr. Sebastian Conan from the Embassy of France in India. Thank you so much, sir. And Ms. Ankita Tyagi from the European Business and Technology Center, India. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'd request all the participants and the moderator to please come forward for a group picture. And ladies and gentlemen,